But when you find out about the affair, in the same way as millions of complete strangers, via social media, it is the act of ultimate betrayal which would leave even the strongest of women reeling with shock and grief. And this is how Lisa Armstrong reacted when she confirmed that her husband Ant McPartlin is reportedly dating her friend and former personal assistant, Anne-Marie Corbett. To make matters even worse, sources say that Lisa suspects the secret relationship has been going on for quite some time. The makeup artist took to Twitter at the weekend to share a series of heartbreaking tweets with her 126,000 followers amid allegations of Ant's new relationship, and she claimed that he gave her no prior warning that his rumored relationship with Anne-Marie, who split from her husband in October, was about to go viral. Responding to one fan who said she hoped Ant had contacted Lisa in private before the news broke, Lisa replied that her husband of 11 years hadn't, and she found out via press reports. "Nope. Just how you guys did," she wrote. After pictures emerged at the weekend of the loved-up couple walking Ant and Lisa's chocolate Labrador, Hurley, in a park, it is a far cry from 2006 when Lisa married Ant in a romantic church ceremony in Taplow, Buckinghamshire, followed by a star-studded reception at nearby Cliveden House, the hotel where Meghan Markle stayed with her mother the night before her wedding to Prince Harry in May. On Lisa's Twitter page, which still features a touching profile photo of her and Ant playing with Hurley in happier times, she agreed with a now-deleted message which read, "So much for the girl code, keep that gorgeous dignified chin held high. Wishing you nothing but happiness in the future." And the 41-year-old has apparently now vowed to friends that the gloves are off. "I will take him for every penny." There was an outpouring of support for Lisa throughout yesterday as details of the deceit emerged. One wrote, "Sending lots of love to you. The sadness in your eyes will get better. I know, sick, it's hard for you, but keep your chin up, and keep smiling. Lots of love sent." Model Nicola McLean wrote, "Sending my love, Lisa. Really feel for you, worst pain ever," with Lisa replying, "Thanks babe, and to think she was my friend." She then added 2 broken heart emojis followed by a heart, the same images she first posted earlier in the day when she broke her silence on the news. Lisa was comforted on Twitter by women everywhere who hit out at the Saturday Night Takeaway star's humiliation of his wife. On her Twitter spree, Lisa hit like on a series of tweets criticizing Anne-Marie, with one claiming Ant's new girlfriend saw her meal ticket in the hugely successful TV star, adding, "Ms. Corbett should be ashamed of herself, wormed her way in utterly disgraceful behavior. There's a word for women like that." Loose Women panelist Colleen Nolan accused Anne-Marie of violating the girl code, and revealed that she suffered a similar humiliation at the hands of her sister. "This is absolutely a violation of the girl code. It's a real betrayal, and I imagine Lisa is feeling devastated and terribly angry." Colleen said, "One of my sisters once dated my ex. It was really upsetting. In Lisa's case, Ant isn't even her ex-husband yet. They say you can't help who you fall for. Maybe sometimes you should." She went on, "Your friend should be there as a shoulder to cry on when a relationship ends, not to date your ex. It makes you ask, did they always fancy each other? You have to mourn not only your relationship but your friendship." Behavioral psychologist Joe Hemmings agrees. The fact that it is Anne-Marie, someone who Lisa considered a friend, is just another layer of betrayal. When Lisa thinks of her generosity of spirit in inviting Anne-Marie into their marital home, it makes it so much worse that her marriage has been pulled out from under her. She is also losing a girlfriend to a husband I think she is still in love with. For Lisa to find out the way we did is very tough. This whole thing has been handled very crudely in terms of Lisa's feelings, and I respect her for coming out and talking about her feelings. It was claimed at the weekend that Ant's new romance started after he announced their split in January. At the time, his representative said, in response to the recent speculation in the media, Ant is very sad to announce that, after 11 years, he is ending his marriage to Lisa McPartland. Anne-Marie, who is PA to Ant, reportedly has got closer to the TV presenter, 42, over the past few months, following his battle with prescription drugs and a drink-drive car crash in Mortlake, southwest London in March. He was fined £86,000 and given a 20-month driving ban for drink driving, prompting him to get help in rehab. The 41-year-old, who has 2 young children with her estranged husband, Scott, has been described as his rock, showing up at the police station when he was arrested and again in court when he received his ban in April. According to Joe Hemmings, this makes the discovery of their dishonesty even more painful for Lisa. Lisa had been trying to help her husband too, and she stood by him, and this is the way he repays her. It's so corny that he's gone off with a secretary, or in this case the PA, because it is a intense professional relationship which often spills over into something more meaningful. Anne-Marie will have been already privy to so many of Ant's feelings and secrets. This shocking new development in the very public collapse of Ant and Lisa's marriage struck a chord with many bloggers who took to social media to share their own stories of betrayal. 6 months ago I found out my husband had cheated on me with my best friend of 8 years. I totally and completely trusted her. I shared all my secrets with her. I didn't know she was such a horrible person that she would sleep with my husband. I can't tell you how awful I feel. I have forgiven my husband, but I will never forgive her. Another wrote of her betrayal at the hands of her best friend of 18 years. It felt as if there were 2 deaths, not just my husband of 35 years, but a buddy whom I had loved. The ultimate betrayal. It's so humiliating to remember sitting at her table tearfully saying how sad I was without him, as she poured out tea without comfort. Of course, she did not confess. Meanwhile, on Annette Mum's forum, one wife confided, "When I was 8 weeks pregnant I discovered my husband had been having an affair with my best friend. Obviously I was totally devastated. To make matters worse, I had been suffering with depression. My husband and BF were the only people who knew how ill I was. My BF is a trainee midwife and was going to be with me at the birth of my baby, alongside my husband. I was so excited, but she wasn't. She tried to persuade me, and my husband, unbeknownst to me, that I shouldn't have the baby. I thought this was because of my illness. Apparently not." Joe Hemmings warned that in addition to the devastation wrought on his wife, Ant is risking the success of his TV career, and potentially that of his co-presenter, Declan Donnelly, whose wife Ali Astall is expecting their first child in September. Ironically, Ant was one of the first to be told the happy news in May, and although already estranged from her husband, Lisa instantly liked the couple's announcement on Twitter. Another issue is that we are talking about Ant McPartland here, one half of the most popular presenting partnerships in the country, says Joe. I think Ant and Anne-Marie's relationship will put a dent in Ant's professional standing with Dec. These old friends used to mirror each other's lives. Now they are at polar extremes, with Dec about to become a father and Ant embroiled in a love triangle and a messy divorce. When it comes to support, it seems the sisterhood, excluding one Anne-Marie Corbett, is firmly behind Lisa. As for Ant, Joe says he cannot undo the hurt he has inflicted on a wife whom he once loved dearly, but he can limit the distress from here on in. I would advise Ant and Anne-Marie to withdraw from the spotlight and not Florida on their love in front of Lee, so as this will only make matters worse.